Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, all world, and blessings to the hopeful elect out there listening and learning, teaching this word in sincerity and truth, in the hopes that we may edify and feed the lambs of Yahweh Shai, especially in these last days. And we are definitely in the last days. Look at that on the sign. It's hope that keeps us here. It's hope. It's hope that keeps us in the truth, And to see that just now, as I was driving past it, it's hope that keeps us in the truth, man. Hope, faith mixed with the word, Because you look at the most of our people, now when I say our people, I'm talking about, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, they actually have no hope, man. The scriptures say in Isaiah 1, I believe it's from verse 3 on down, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider, so, the wicked of our people, they're going to find out, man, but, and when they find out, it's going to be too late for them to try and get right, because, the prophets have been out there, giving them warning. The scripture tell you in Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. And what's sin? Sin is the transgression of the law, and the wages of sin is death. So our people are looking crazy right now, and they're damn sure gonna look, crazy when all hell breaks loose, because they're gonna have no protection once the Lord unleashes all hell upon them. Remember, we're about to enter a time like no other since there was a nation. And as you look around, the majority of these people out here, they're not actually expecting that time to come upon them. That's why the scriptures call it, the day of the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night. See, people can walk around all proud, swaying their shoulders left and right, acting like the shit don't stink, especially these women, man. Especially these fucking women that disrespect men, It was a brother that told me years ago, walking on the earth, because elder brother Ramar, actually, they just walk around the earth ruining men's lives. And that's exactly what they do. These women, they're actually known for just walking around on the earth ruining men's lives, disrespecting men, especially when you see that Pop the Balloon show. Because I was watching, MTR's reaction, and I was watching the video that Elder Apostle Gabar did about MTR's reaction to a video where you had this tall Jake that came on the Pop the Balloon show, and he was getting disrespected by Big Shirley, man. And here she is, she's standing all out of shape. She's probably wearing Spanx under that tight dress. That stuff that keeps her fat from rolling out. You know what I mean? But she still thinks that she's got the, a bit. And even if she was in shape, they ain't got no, right to disrespect any man, because the man by default is above the woman. The scriptures call the woman the weaker vessel, man. That's actually biblical. And for all you women that got a problem with that, man, you got to take it up with the Most High. The scriptures tell you that the order of things, 1 Corinthians 11, right? That the head of the order is the Most High Yahweh, then it's Yahweh Shai, then it's the man, then it's the woman, and the woman's supposed to guide the children at home. That's her duty. The woman is nothing but an incubator, man. For the babies, right? That get planted in there by the man. Right? Elder Apostle Tahar said years ago, a woman ain't nothing but a pair of shoes, man. You try you like one pair of shoes one day, and you try, and that's another thing. A man can have multiple women, right? For all you people that got a problem with that, what about our forefather? Who's it? Jacob. He had Leah and Rachel, and he had their handmaids as well. Okay, even our forefather Abraham, right? Okay, he had Isaac with Sarah, but he also had Hagar, the Egyptian woman. He had Ishmael, but then he had 6 sons with Keturah. That's multiple wives, man. You know what I'm saying? So you women are gonna find out. You're gonna get put, in your rightful place, which is beneath the man. And I notice on these Pop the Balloon shows, you never see Esau going on there. You never see him getting disrespected before the world. It's always, the so-called black man. It's always the Israelites that are going on that show getting disrespected by so-called black women. And it's fucking disgusting, man. You got no self-esteem. And what's going on with you, Jake, man? What, you didn't get enough attention when you were growing up, man? You was raised by the so-called black woman. You were told that you ain't shit your whole life. You look like your dad. You know what I mean? You know, she done kicked your dad out the home. You know what I'm saying? Because of that feminism, which that's Esau. He's given these women so much power. But the scriptures tell you that Jeremiah 31 and 22, I believe it is, right? The Lord have created a new thing in the earth, that a woman shall compass a man. Which, when you look up the word compass, it means to go around the man's authority, basically, you know? Because what do you do with a compass? You know, you have the point on one end and you have the pencil on the other, and you draw a perfect circle with it, right? So these women are compassing, you know, men's authority, man. And it's our God-given right, to be above you women. And it's just a fact. It's just a fact, man. And you got women out here openly disrespecting men, right, that are over you, and it's their God-given right. Like, even when you look up in the history, when you had King David and he was dancing before the Lord, right, and you had Saul's daughter, what was it, Michal, I believe her name was, right, and she was, you know, mocking King David because he was dancing and he was getting down, man, like James Brown. You know, he was getting down because, you know, he got the Ark of the Covenant, you know, and pretty much, you know, King Saul's daughter was mocking King David, man. You know, and because she mocked him because he was dancing, you know what I'm saying, you know, pretty much she, you know, she remained childless, man. She remained childless, you know, and that was her punishment, man. And she didn't bear no children because she was disrespecting King David. So now how much more so, right, in this time, the levels of disrespect have reached all-time high, man. If women, right, could be disrespectful then, and things were a lot more in order back then, you know, where you know, women, like, hey, Elder Apostle Bar was even mentioning about Miriam, how she disrespected Moses. And guess what? The Lord played there with leprosy, man, just for coming up against Moses. Didn't do nothing to Aaron, right? But Moses, right? He was getting disrespected, right? By Miriam. And, you know, she got put out into the wilderness, man, for 7 days with the curse of leprosy, right? Which shows you, you know, that leprosy is a curse, you know, in the scriptures. Like, you got people glorifying leprosy right now, right? Because remember, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. These so-called white people, they actually have a curse called leprosy, where their blood shows forth through their skin. They lack melanin, and they got that yellow thin hair, you know, that blonde hair, blue eye. That's like the thing to look up to in this day and age. Why? Because Esau has glorified that image. All right, when in actual fact, that's actually a curse. Right? Because remember, man, leprous, she got stripped of her melanin, her pigment. Alright? And she became leprous. Alright? When you read in the book of, I believe it, what is it? Numbers, is it? I want to say, is it Numbers or is it Exodus? Numbers. It's in one of them. Exodus 10 or Numbers. Something. I can't remember exactly where it is. Right? If someone could actually put it up on the comment board, that would, you know, that would be great, you know, if you can find it. But you can read the story for yourself. You know, that's another thing. I ain't gonna be getting scriptures as I'm driving, you know, because you know, that's basically being over righteous, man. Like, I was watching Elder Apostle Bar's video, and it's like, for brothers that drive and talk, and I thought about myself. You know, you don't want to be over righteous because, you know, getting scriptures as you're driving, because guess what? You can get yourself into an accident, man. So brothers, like, we have to take heed, man. And I'm thinking about myself, man. Hey, guess what, man? Like, the scripture says, examine thyself, whether I be in the faith. You know, everything that's being said, like, you got to take it as warnings in the spirit, man. You know, because things can happen. You ain't immune, right, to getting into some shit, you know, for your lack of being prudent. You know what I'm saying? Just for the sake of being over righteous. You know, and I admit that, you know, that was over righteous of me to be able to, or get in scriptures as I'm driving. Like, and the thing is, if you really got to get a scripture, which I might even do in a minute, Lord willing, I'll just pull over, you know, real quick and get the scripture. You know, if I can't remember it off the top of my head, right? And I'll get it, or I'll just say, like I just said now, I request anyone to find the scripture and put it up, you know, on the comment board. Because guess what, man, we're a body, and the thing is, if you sincerely believe, then you're really going to want to find the scripture out for yourself for edification, because this is about edification. This ain't about entertainment, you know? It's about edification, man. You know, it's about us. You know, when the word edify means to build, right? But which everyone should be familiar with that scripture that I quoted, or with the story with with Miriam and how she disrespected Moses, and she, you know, she became leprous, right? And then and Aaron was pleading and said, look, let her not be as one, you know, dead, like half dead basically, so-called, you know, loosely paraphrasing, which shows you that, you know, to look like that is not healthy, man. You know? But like I said, you never see Esau going on them Pop the Balloon shows, man, getting disrespected before the world. You always see, and the thing is, the so-called black woman, you know, you notice she doesn't really tend to disrespect Esau like that. Why? Because they know these women are hypergamous by nature. Women in general, man, they date men, right, with power. And Esau has been given the power of the earth. So that image of the so-called white man pretty much reigns supreme over the earth. The image of the so-called black man is looked down upon. And that's a fact, man. You know? Getting followed in supermarkets, wherever you go, getting looked down upon, getting talked shit about behind your back by all these other nations. Right? And you really can't blame them, because look at our people. They're acting stupid all over social media, man. Every time you go on a social media platform, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, right? You see Jake acting a damn fool. Even Dave Chappelle with the Saturday Night Live. You know, when he did that skit about the Pop the Balloon show. Jake is looking crazy out here. You had that, you know? You had the skit with the Jake coming out looking like he just dived into a fucking bathtub full of cocaine in nothing but his drawers on the Pop the Balloon show. It's crazy as hell. And it's just like, and I don't know if that was Dave Chappelle, it could have been, you know? It might not have been, but he was definitely in there with a pimp jacket and that and whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, our people are just looking crazy, man. You don't see Esau doing that. You don't see Esau openly disrespecting himself, right, for clout. You know? You don't see Esau going on and pop the balloon shows, right? And it's all for clout, and it's all about his platform for so-called black women, really for black women to disrespect the so-called black man. That's what it's really about, right? Demons, man. You got to see, that's another reason you got to watch these demons on these roads, man. And brothers, definitely pray every time you leave, right, to get to your next destination. We got to pray, man. And what was it MC Hammer? We got to pray just to make it today. And that's another thing, we got to pray even more, man, because things are about to turn up. You know, I did a lesson yesterday, a drive and talk, talking about the left-hand side. You know, as one side turns up, so is the other. So, hey, we got to turn up too, man. You see that brother's beautiful testimony, you know, that dream that he had, all right, or vision, you know, dream/vision of some brother that just didn't make it, man, and that terrified the hell out of me, you know, because he said that you had, you know, the apostles, he said that if like they were lining up, that the apostles were pretty much greeting brothers, they'd either greet brothers and salute them and give them a kiss on their hand, or you wouldn't be able to get that. And if you didn't get that greeting from the apostles, and you had to get the approval of all the apostles, or you weren't making it through, you know? And I mean, he was saying a lot, man. There was a lot in that dream, man, that vision. And he was saying that certain brothers were trying to plead their case because they weren't getting the blessing from the apostles to make it through, to await the greeting from Yahweh Shai. You know? And you know, that's terrifying, and that should inspire fear, man. That should inspire fear. The scripture says the fear of the Lord, right, is the beginning of knowledge, you know? Loosely paraphrasing, right? Proverbs 1:7, I believe you can find that scripture, right? So fearing the Lord is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? Because when I heard that brother's testimony, man, I was just like, yo, like I pray that I'm one of those men that actually, you know, does make it, and you know, you don't want to be proud in this truth, thinking that you got it, man. Like, we're always, like Elder Apostle Bar said years ago, you always want to be like a cat on a hot tin roof. You know what I'm saying? Like, never thinking that you got it, because at the end of the day, you know, the fear of the Lord is a good thing. You know, it's supposed to keep you in line. It's, you know, keeps you examining yourself, keeps you from getting proud. And especially now where, you know, you got the Passover coming up, you know, right? The Passover's coming up, man. And around this time, you got that term spring cleaning. You know, you got brothers that will fall out of the truth, get kicked out, you know, or before, during, and after the Passover. Right? But now it's getting to the point now where it could be any time. Any time of the so-called, within the so-called new year, any time down the line, anyone can get, you know, suspended, kicked out, or whatever. So we got to be very, very careful, man. You know, how we move in these times, especially that we're at the end. you know, how we conduct ourselves. But we got to be more and more circumspect in these last days, because things are happening, things are opening up out here. You know, Esau is looking to do some shit this year, man. All right, Trump just got that presidency, you know, and he just got inaugurated and that and whatever. All right, and he was talking about planting the American flag on the planet Mars and that, and I believe Mars goes back to the god of war. You know, so hey, you never know. They could institute martial law this year, put curfews in place and that and whatever, right? Never waste a major crisis. Remember, you know, we're not supposed to be ignorant of Satan's devices, right? Because Esau's got that, you know, he's gonna come forth with many methods of chaos, right? And also have the solution conveniently, right? To push these draconian measures. And we know that they're willing to push these draconian measures because they already have done. Hey man, when they had the pandemic, man, people were put in lockdown. That was draconian. People, they were telling you couldn't leave your house. That was draconian, right? Telling you where you can and can't go. And that was the scripture. What the scripture says: a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. 2 Esdras 15 and 17. That was draconian, man. So things are gonna get more and more draconian, right? Having people line up to take the poison. You know, telling the people that pretty much, you know, that if you didn't get the stabbing jab, then you weren't able to enter, certain supermarkets and that. You have to show your QR codes, and it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna have that chip, and if you don't have that chip, you definitely ain't gonna be able to buy and sell. Hey, the Apostle John was shown that on the Isle of Patmos, man, right? He was actually showing people, taking a physical chip, which is the mark of the beast, spoken of in Revelation 13 and 16, And it goes on to say that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So this is going to affect people's ability to make transactions, right? Enabled to get their victuals, enabled to get their, their daily bread, so to speak. But as for the elect, the scripture says in Isaiah 65 and 13 on down, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. So the Lord's going to have a way for his elect to be able to be sustained. And we're going to be tested. You might go without food for 2-3 days, whatever. But then, hey, that's going to be a test of our faith. Everyone's walk, is different. Everyone's going to go through different things. Some of us are going to be taken to them concentration camps, get tortured for the word of the Lord, get taken to that room 101. Just like they show you in George Orwell, 1984, man. Right? Which was written over here in the UK. And I remember Elder Apostle saying, hey, the elect in the UK shall be tried first. We can't forget about that. I always think about that from time to time. Elder Ramah, he always brings that up. The elect in the UK shall be tried first. Right? Pretty much echoing the sentiment of what Elder Apostle Tahar said years ago, did that video. So them draconian measures, man, they're about to get pushed hot and heavy, man. Okay? Things are about to get crazy out here. Alright? And I think one of the brothers have put up an article, right? In they got these digital passports coming out, or digital IDs set to be rolled out, right? You got the digital driver's license set to be rolled out this year. So everything is going digital. Everything is going digital, man. And it's no coincidence that everything is going digital, because guess what? In order to solidify that transition, merging man with machine, or the 4th industrial revolution as they call it, they're gonna need that chip. Okay? And that chip is gonna, glue everything together. Alright? And now, remember the scripture say that, Revelation 12 and 12, rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time. So this is it, man. Right? Buckle the fuck up. Alright? The fear of the Lord, man. Stay circumspect. We're in the last days. Alright? So with that, man, I pray you were edified. To the next time, shalom to the elect.